Hey everyone, welcome to this film celebrating the 10th anniversary of Lonerism by Tame Impala. This is our favourite album here at Pedal Partners. We had to do something for the 10-year mark because it's very special to us. Comment your fave Tame Impala album, song or show down in the comments below and I'll get back to you on my thoughts on that. All the music today is by us. Support our new songs through Violet Oscillation, Abstract and Sound. Just put out my debut single with the old Violet Oscillation. You should go check it out. It's on all streaming services right now. Go check it out. Go buy it. Go listen. And Abstract and Sound have a song out. This video is posted on Friday. They just put out a song yesterday on Thursday. Go check it out now. It's available on all the streaming services. You can support more videos like this by buying our ethical clothing. You will find links all around the places that we are. Leave a super like for us, and you can also support us on Patreon. We appreciate all the support that we get, and it means that we can keep making videos like this, supporting culture. And I also take music video commissions, so if you have a piece of gear you want to feature, then perhaps you should get a music video. That makes complete sense. But yeah, music video, gear, all that good stuff, contact me for it, and let's get into the video. In this film, I'm going to be looking at Lonerism through both personal perspectives and as a research-based practitioner of good music. I've done lots of videos in this style on this channel, though this one is deeply personal. Lonerism is my favorite album of all time. I discovered it in high school. At the time, I literally had no friends, so the Lonerism theme fit perfectly block by block into my own life. In fact, just months before discovering the band, I had conceived a thankfully never released album called Escapism. I say thankfully because that music was rubbish. Tame Impala got me through high school. Lonerism was such a big part of my being. I lived it, I experienced it every day. It was my refuge, you could even say it was my purpose. I got Be Above It tattooed on my wrist when I was 19. Kevin Parker's music was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. Tame Impala was the first live show I went to. Tame Impala is how I met my wife. Tame Impala is the reason I got into effects pedals. Tame Impala is a big reason I started this channel, and Tame Impala is the reason I studied music and became a musician. Lonerism was the album that truly cemented Tame Impala's reputation within the indie music world. It took the band to new heights and would be the inception of Kevin's voyage into the world of synths, with instruments such as the Roland Juno 106 taking centerfold on the album, a precursor to Kevin's sound on Currents and the Slow Rush. Before we get into the concoctions of sound that make this album great, let's visit Yallingup. Around 3 hours south of Perth in Australia, the area has been a creative outpost over the years for Tame Impala. It was here that Inner Speaker was recorded in a beach house, and where the band returned to this day to recenter their creative efforts. Surrounded by uninterrupted views of the Indian Ocean, I've always closely associated the setting with the openness and textural qualities of the band sound. You can hear the sounds of the sea both literally on Lonerism Close the Sun's Coming Up, but also in the synth lines of the album's other songs. I bring up this outpost to highlight the importance of physical surroundings in the composition and creation of music. The sunny Australian coast bleeds into the musical notes performed by Parker on the album. That this album is multifaceted not only in its sounds but its locales. Kevin recorded takes on cross-continental plane rides, European cities like Vienna and Paris, and of course in the home studio that adorns the album's artwork. The back cover, that is, the Luxembourg Gardens in Paris, aren't Kevin's home studio. Lonerism is the album that really solidified my love for everything textural, something that I would later revisit again and again with shoegaze music. What is shoegaze, you ask? Go see here. To this day, I'm still finding new musical layers on the album. It's the reason I can't listen to pop music. Music with 3 or 4 layers is just so boring. Over 12 songs, 13 if you count B-side Led Zeppelin, Kevin creates a sonic world like nothing else before. Kevin does this by drawing from a wide body of musical influences. The double tracking of the Beatles, the cosmic explosions of the Flaming Lips, and believe it or not, the sugar-coated pop of Britney Spears and Kylie Minogue. It was 70s rocker Todd Rundgren, however, who would be a pivotal influence on Kev's sophomore effort. Kevin took influence from the 1973 album A Wizard, A True Star, perfecting that album's formula in some places on his own album. Layered vocal takes, pulsating and staccato synths, and an overall prog-inspired feel. The wild variety of influences for Lonerism span multiple decades and eras, resulting in an album that is timeless in its sound. recorded in the 2010s, portraying the sounds of the 60s and 70s, all created by one man. I'm of the understanding that at this point within popular discourse that Kevin's prodigious talents are widely understood by the general public. But back in 2012, when Lonerism first came out, it was mind-blowing that one person was responsible for such bountiful music. Bountiful in layers, textures, melodies, counter melodies, and harmonies. Quite frankly, Kevin puts Mike Oldfield to shame. It's been repeated a substantial amount of times by now, but Kevin is a genius. Whilst his debut album In a Speaker involved Kevin attempting to mimic traditional synth sounds using gear such as the Boss BR600 and his pedal board, Lonerism finds Kevin utilizing classics like the Roland Juno 106 and Sequential Circuits Pro 1 to produce the bulk of the soundscapes featured. I'm now going to analyze each of the tracks on the album. I first thought I'd go over this little overview that I kind of came up with, and it's like, is Lonerism a concept album? It could potentially be viewed as such. Its concept being that of Lonerism or isolation, if you like. Having a close look at the lyrics of Lonerism, I've come up with the idea that Lonerism could be the telling of the story of a single day in the life of a loner. Be above it is the general manifesto of the loner endos toi. The loner sleeps to wait for the new day. Apocalypse dream. The loner wakes for the day, hoping this day is the day they finally push through, the day all their dreams come true. Mind mischief. She remembers my name. The loner hopes that they are breaking down socially constructed barriers. The popular girl remembers his name. Why won't they talk to me? Speaks of rejection. Not being invited to the party. Music to walk home by is walking home after that rejection. Feels like we only go backwards. The loner is outreach and putting their self out there only for it to fall apart. In Elephant, this is almost an alternate dimension loner. Imagine themselves as a popular guy. By the end of the album, we have suns coming up. The day ends and a new one begins. The sun is always setting somewhere and rising somewhere else. On opener, Be Above It, Kevin repeats the line, Be Above It. It must be 100 times. This track acts, like I said, as the manifesto for the album. What must Kevin be above? Lonerism is all about isolation, loneliness. As I said at the start of the video, the album still makes up like 90% of my personality. Who better to ask what Lonerism is about than a certified loner, myself. Lonerism Luca, as it was back in the day on Instagram. Now, of course, everyone's perspective of Lonerism is going to be different, but from my own experiences, Kevin perfectly nails the social isolation that us loners feel, social standards that it seems everyone else adheres to, favoritism, exclusion, superficial matters, social constructs. Kevin is above it all. Endors-toi is the French phrase that roughly translates to go to sleep or fall asleep. Kevin got it from his then girlfriend Melody Prochet of Melody's Echo Chamber. The song is surreal lyrically, and musically the instrumentation fits into this theme. Perhaps one of the best examples of Kevin's use of the small stone phaser on guitar, with synth lines punctuating the atmosphere before Kevin exclaims, soothe and repeat, I look down at my feet. Very shoegaze of you, if I do say so myself, Kevin. The song acts as a great prelude to the following track, Apocalypse Dreams. I've heard this song performed live countless times, and to this day it remains a favourite live performance. The song ebbs and flows between sections, changing tempo and timbre. Kevin's voice is relatively low in the mix, with the guitar and synth work overpowering events. It breaks down right at the 3-minute mark. Your body naturally follows events, moving with the rhythm like some primal instinct. Kevin laments, nothing ever changes no matter how long you do your hair. Looks the same to everyone else. Followed by, everything is changing, I guess I should warn my mum, but she'll just be excited. The former refers to Alona's overthinking tendencies. No one ever truly knows who they are to the outside. We cannot dictate who we are from other people's perspectives. The latter refers to Kevin's newfound fame. In a speaker sees him make it as an artist. Lonerism takes him above ground, and later currents will bring Tame Impala into the mainstream. When I first heard this song on a psych rock compilation, I thought Kevin's falsetto part was actually a female voice. What is this music? It's so beautiful. It features one of my favourite crosses ever. It's intoxicating, otherworldly, and addictive. It's a gateway to great psychedelic music, combining both heavy guitar riffs and juxtaposing light ethereal moments. This is the song that made me fall in love with Tame Impala. It has something I can't put into words. It's one of those songs that is beyond earthly definition. Music to Walk Home By touches strongly on the Lonerism theme. can almost stand competing with the others, can almost hear the fun that I should be having instead of just dreaming. Tame Impala is categorically music for dreamers, with Kevin combining both his signature synth guitar sound developed by altering different patches on his BR600 and actual synths to great effect. And in case you're wondering, yes, it makes great music to walk home by. Lyrically, this is the most loner-centric song on Lonerism. It's an anthem for loners everywhere, and it takes me right back to being a high school kid with no friends. Instant nostalgia for a younger self. The emotions it evokes in me are so strong that I almost feel vulnerable listening to it. You know, I've since gone on to find my best friends in Paige and Becca and loads of cool people through pedal partners, but listening to this song takes me right back to having nobody. Don't want this video to be too introspective, but isn't that the very nature of Lonerism? Within 4 minutes and 46 seconds, Kevin seems to sum up what my life as a 16-year-old high school owner was like. Out of the zone, trying to see, I'm so alone, nothing for me. I guess I'll go home, try to be sane, try to pretend none of it happened. These lyrics speak of social isolation and their retreat to a safe zone. Oh, this old tree, lonely old me, whoops a daisy, I thought I was happy. Here Kevin juxtaposes his own loneliness to that of an old tree. I read an interview, I don't know where now, I've read so much on Tame, where Kevin talks about music transporting him through dark times, lonely times of his youth, and you can really hear it in this song. It's very sincere, and I've never heard such a lonely composition. Also, who the f*** can squeeze the phrase whoops a daisy into a song? By the time the bridge rolls around, Kevin is at peace with his quote-unquote destiny to be a loner. I don't even care about it anyway. I wouldn't listen to a word any of them say. They just talk about themselves all day. One day I'll be a star and they'll be sorry. As a teen, this really awoke something in me. My whole life up until that point had seen me view loneliness and social exclusion as a negative when it really didn't have to be. Since Lonerism, I adopted an attitude, I don't really want to be at your lame party anyway, kind of vibe. Still vibing to it to this day. Tame's first hit alongside Elephant. A big part of the lyrical themes of Lonerism is hope. Loners are hopeful for the day when they won't be a loner, when they fit in. With Kevin singing, I got my hopes up again, oh no, not again, a reference to failed social projects. All I give are little clues, maybe one day I'll get through. There is nothing I can do, I'll just keep on lying to you. The protagonist is scared to admit their feelings to their love interest. This is supplemented by one of the album's catchiest bass lines, looping over and over to the loner's despair. Texturally, the song starts out relatively sparse in the context of Lonerism, but crescendos with multiple melodic parts, guitar, bass, synth, and field recordings. This is almost an alternate dimension loner. Imagine themselves as the popular guy. As such, the music very much stands out in relation to the rest of the album, bold and abrasive in contrast to the mellow loner music that is contained within the rest of the album. A heavy fuzz riff carries the song and makes for a great live performance. The closest thing the album has to an interlude, with its 57 seconds being the shortest track on the album. On this track, Tame goes full on synthwave, with the song primarily being composed of synth and vocal parts. Then the guitar interjects, and we flow into nothing that has happened so far has been anything we could control. LOD, look at me unless you're trying to hurt me. Heavy blow, down I go, now I just want to let go. This is possibly a veiled reference to Kevin's then girlfriend Melody, and this song does in fact feature a recording of Melody's voice. I never like to speculate too much on people's personal lives, but it is nice that Kevin uses his music to make sense of his own world, and in turn allows us to make sense of our own worlds. It acts as a great penultimate track, closing off the themes of the album with themes very close to Kevin. I can't put this one better than the man himself, but I'll leave you with one note. When writing this, I realised that this closing song is comparable to Slowdive's Dagger, in that it closes off a texturally rich album with a sparsely arranged composition. Kevin has described the song as follows: the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's about this final release of just becoming an absolute drifter, an absolute loner, I guess, because all the shit has happened, all these crazy tumbling synths and emotions have happened before, and this song at the end is really somber. All the other songs are immensely layered, and this one is really just a piano and a voice, singing about how I can't be fucked anymore, I'm gonna detach myself completely. See how that works out.